Hey guys, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs. Right now, we're talking about Jamarion Morrow, the newest commit to Mizzou. Before we get into that, please, guys, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Now, Jamarion Morrow, big time commitment for Missouri. He's 5'9", 180 pounds, coming from the Memphis area. He is an all-purpose back, running back, but plays enough receiver that it's tough to categorize him strictly as a running back. He played at Germantown. If you watch his highlights from his junior season or before, it's Germantown. He is following his dad to Melrose High School. His father is becoming the head coach there, so he's going to play for his dad at Melrose High School, still in the Memphis area. He is a four-star, consensus pretty much everywhere. Rivals has him as 5.9 rated four-star. They've got him number 139 overall in the country, number 3 player in Tennessee, number 2 all-purpose back in America. That's the kind of guy we're talking about here. On 3, they have him as a composite 4-star. 24/7, their composite also 4-star, but their individual rating high 3-star, 88, I believe it is. I think that's criminally underrated, and I'll talk about why in a minute here. I personally think at 139 for Rivals, that might be underrated. That's how highly I think of this guy. You know, this is a guy who, as I said, all-purpose back. He'd run the football, can run routes, catch the football as a receiver. 1,212 all-purpose yards, 12 touchdowns. 12s are wild there. And he also played some free safety and had, I believe it was 4 interceptions and was a major factor in their secondary. I talked about him being underrated perhaps at 139 and as a 3-star. The offer list reflects that, guys. Take a look at the powers that are on this list. Multiple visits to Alabama, Georgia, Texas, maybe not literally everybody, but pretty darn close. Now, I looked at the film and it took about 2 plays and I said, whoa, whoa. And what jumps out at you immediately is this dude's wiggle. All right. He is shifty. He can stop on a dime and he's got moves, spin moves, just cuts, everything. He is hard to bring down in that regard, especially. And I think it's worth noting that all the wiggle in the world can only do so much for you unless you have vision, which he shows. So the point being, you got to know where to aim that wiggle, right? For it to be worth anything. And he has that. When you look at his game, he's also a very solid receiver. He's got good speed. He runs solid routes, showed good hands. And, it's not his game to be a power back, big bruising kind of guy, but he is strong enough that he can break tackles. He can move the pile. And that's something that looking at his frame, you may not expect, especially when the wiggle and the speed and that aspect of his game is so prominent. So I think he'll surprise some people with his strength. There's a video I believe I saw where he was benching 315 as a sophomore. So that gives you just a little bit of an idea of what kind of strength he has. And I mentioned he played free safety. He's got that speed. He's got the coverage skills, the hips to be able to cover. He could jump. He got up there for a couple of the picks that I saw in the highlight package. Just an all-around athlete. And I think the one thing that we may see with him, well, when he's young especially, I get the feeling there's some of the moves he's going to try as part of his wiggle that work in high school that won't work in the SEC. But that's only some of them. I think he'll learn, he will adapt, and after a year at the college level, I think he'll be fine. I think there'll just be some freshman moments where maybe he's, wiggling, going a couple of yards backwards, and he doesn't get out of it and gets tackled. And he looks like a freshman in that regard. But make no mistake, I think this guy is an elite talent. And that's something that will be fixed with experience, not a concern. the major one anyway, at all. And man, elite talent. That's what Drinkwitz is doing to this program, guys. Commit number 10 for the class of 2025. Full half are 4 stars. And it's not just your typical 5.8 rivals, 4 star, just kind of, oh, random 4 star, not highly touted. This guy firmly inside the rivals top 250. I think he may be in the rivals 100 before it's done. I think that highly of him. And I think it's interesting that he committed before his official visit. He's set to visit on the 21st, that weekend. And I think people were hoping he'd commit after that. So the fact that he committed on Friday, he told Power Mizzou in an interview that it was one of those where he just kind of thought on it, prayed on it, and he just like, why not? This makes too much sense. Why wait? And what it sets up is another thing that he mentioned in the Power Mizzou interview, where he is going to be the recruiter on this big official visit weekend. Him and Zollers, the quarterback commit. Oh man, you have your running back, you have your quarterback, both recruiting, receivers, offensive linemen. There's a chance for some major commits coming out of this official visit weekend coming for Missouri. Also for Morrow, he will be an early enrollee, meaning he will be in spring ball next spring. And for the 2025 season, he won't be showing up in June trying to learn the playbook as fall camp is going on. So that'll give him a chance at some playing time as a true freshman, I think. And man, Drinkwitz is getting himself some running backs all of a sudden. And there's a chance that Missouri is hard to stop running the football in the years to come with guys like Jamarion Morrow on the team. Overall, I think this is a gigantic pickup. Again, at 139 in the country, I think he might be underrated. That's what I think of him. So, yeah, exciting. Again, not going to be the last commitment that Mizzou gets in the next month or so. I think some might be just about as big as this. But keep it tuned here to Under the Arch Sports to learn about that if and when those commitments go down. And follow us. Hey, everything going on in the world of St. Louis sports. Cardinals are at 500 in June. Who'd have thought that, right? The Blues making some personnel moves at the front office. St. Louis City getting a draw every single week, I guess. Follow it all with Under the Arch Sports. Until next time, thank you for watching.